am here in Peru right now, and we are on a 15-day quarantine all throughout the country for coronavirus. So I thought that I would make a new video because I have so much time on my hands. I even put makeup on and curled my hair for the first time since like Christmas. But it's so hot here that I know like throughout this video, you're just gonna be watching my curls like fall more and more. And at the end, I guarantee my hair will be straight. But I tried, okay? I'm trying to, you know, make the best of this quarantine. But for this video, I'm just going to be doing a Q&A, just answering some questions that people sent in about my life here in Peru as a missionary. I'm also going to be showing you guys how I make my favorite fruit juice here from a fruit called maracuya. It's super popular here, and I'm not sure if there's maracuya in the States. It's just passion fruit. I'll show you the ones I have. They definitely look a little rough, but these were the best that I could find in the quarantine. My neighbor had some that she sold to me. So there's ants crawling all over my camera. This is just, you know, my life. It's fine. Hopefully you guys can't see the sweat just dripping off my face right now, but if you do, let's pretend that you don't and just never speak of it, okay? Okay, deal. I'm just gonna go ahead and answer this question just to get it out of the way. Somebody asked, is there coronavirus in Peru? Yes, there is coronavirus here. I believe there's over 100 cases now. That's why we're on this 15-day quarantine right now, the whole country. We're not supposed to leave our houses unless we're going to buy food or buy like medicine or go to the bank. And there's a curfew between like 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. we can't go out. But honestly, we're a lot better off here than some countries are. And so far in Yurimaguas, there are no confirmed positive cases. So honestly, I'm safer here than people in the States are probably, so no worries. So now I'm going to do the first step of making maracuya. So I'm just going to be making this much maracuya to go into this pitcher right here. So I have four of the fruits. I don't know what I'm talking about. Disclaimer, I'm not like a little chef, okay? Everything that I'm showing in this video I learned from my Peruvian friends, and I'm probably doing it wrong, so. But I have 4 of them right here, which should be enough. And the first step is that I'm just going to cut them open and then basically gut them and put it into a blender. There is like 100 ants on my camera. So this is what the inside should look like. Oh, I just spilled some. I'll try to show it again. This one is perfect. It's nice and full. So I will spoon all of that out as well into the blender. It is all in my blender, and let's do the next question. The next question that I'm going to answer is, why Peru? Has Peru always been your first choice? I feel like a lot of people already kind of know my story, but for those who don't, I'll just do a quick summary. I grew up in the church. My dad has been in the ministry my whole life, and for one of his jobs, we actually got to go on missions trips every summer. And so I was like 6 or 7 years old when I went on my first missions trip. And I mean, I just like fell in love with missions. I thought missionaries were the coolest people ever, and I've just like said since I was that little that I was gonna be a missionary someday, and I really felt like that was what God was calling me to do. And then when I was 10 years old, I was actually at Brahms in Mustang, Oklahoma, outside on the benches. I feel like they're still there, but I'm not sure. And I was with some friends, and we were out there praying. That's another story that I won't go into. I just remember asking God where he wanted me to go, and I felt like I heard God tell me Peru. But I didn't actually get to come to Peru until I was 18 for the first time. But I think it's really special, and I can look back and remember that so long ago I felt this calling, and now I'm here in Peru living it out. The next question is, what advice do you have for other girls who want to follow the same path? I say that if you are a young girl or a young boy who feels called to missions and you're not sure what the next steps are, obviously it depends on your age, but even if you're in middle school or high school or in college, I feel like there's a lot of opportunities to go on missions trips with your church or maybe with like your school. But my advice is to go on those trips. I think one of the best ways to learn more about missions is just hands-on experience. And I also would say to even find opportunities within your community. You don't have to go overseas to be a missionary, do missions work. And I think there's a lot of opportunities probably in Oklahoma or wherever you are. But you're never too young to begin preparing for that calling that you feel in your life. And I know that it might seem scary or like it's impossible, but I really stand by that. If you feel like God called you to do something, that He's gonna be with you every step of the way and provide for you. I'm gonna go under the fan for a few minutes. I'll be back. Okay, I just went and sat in front of my fan for a few minutes and I think I dried all the sweat off my face, so. Next question. Name all of the bugs that you've eaten. Okay, I really haven't eaten that many bugs. I've eaten like weird meats from different animals, but I did eat grub worm. I guess that counts as a bug. And I've eaten alpaca and guinea pig, which are both actually not that bad. I think the hardest thing I've had to eat here is an animal called mahas. I think it's a capybara. I think that's how you say it, but I'll insert a picture of it. But that to me was probably the hardest thing that I've had to eat. I just call it rat because that's what it looks like to me. The next question is, what's the most different part about your living space now and back in the US? So I would say I'm pretty lucky, and I found an apartment here that is really nice compared to some of the other properties here. I would say the most different part is the creatures that get inside my house. I back on into my house. Like I mentioned earlier, there are just ants everywhere constantly. It can be just water on the counter and there's a billion ants. I also do get a lot of cockroaches, and it's not because my house is dirty, just because there's cockroaches everywhere. And then I do not have hot water, so I only have cold water to shower in, but I actually don't mind that because it's just so hot here that to me it feels nice to have cold water in the shower. And there's not like AC in the houses here. I did get lucky, and in my apartment, in my bedroom only, I have like a little wall air conditioning machine. So I do have AC in my bedroom, which is great. So for the next step, I'm just going to go and blend this up, but I have to go off camera to do it because I don't have a plug over here, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I blended up our maracuya, and I even added a little bit of water in there, and now I am going to take the sifter, I don't know what it's called, and I'm putting this over my pitcher of water, and then I'm just going to pour this in. I'm just trying to sift out the black seeds. The next question is, how often do you preach? I for sure preach at least one time each month, because the first Sunday of every month we have Mission Sunday, and all of us missionaries are assigned to different churches each month, and we go and do a mission service. But I also sometimes will just preach at my home church. We do our youth Bible studies probably like twice a month, and I'm not necessarily preaching, but I am teaching in those studies as well. The next question is, do you ever feel unsafe? I'm not gonna lie, there have been a few times that I have felt a little unsafe, but it's probably more so just been my own head and like my emotions getting the best of me. I feel like everybody in town knows where us girls live, because sometimes when I get in a moto, I don't even have to like tell them where to go. They just take me straight to my house. But there really hasn't been anything too scary. This has been my first year really like living completely by myself. And that's part of the reason I got a dog, just to kind of help me feel safer at night. Say hi. But I do think that I am safe here. Okay, so now that I have all of the maracuya mixed with the water, this is the part where things get unhealthy. I don't know exactly how much sugar you're supposed to put in there, but I know that the Peruvians always put a ton. So I have a whole cup full, and as we go, I'll just stop and taste it and see if it needs more or less. So now I'm just going to stir it until we can get all of the sugar to dissolve. I feel like this video is going to be a lot of me talking and stirring, and that's it. Let's taste test it. More sugar. I'm just gonna do the whole thing. Health. Then somebody asked, what do the Peruvians like to do for fun? Peruvians are super into volleyball and soccer. So, I mean, every afternoon you can see people out in like their little neighborhoods playing volleyball outside or playing soccer. But besides that, I mean, I guess Peruvians can go to the river, or there's pools in town they can go to swim and have fun. But there's not things like bowling here. Oh, but exciting news. We have heard a rumor that we are getting a movie theater, and I'm so excited. Or I guess as well, there's like plazas in town, which isn't like a shopping center. It's just like a square block in the middle of town. There's a little park, and there'll be like some like ice cream shops or like vendors outside every night selling like balloons or things like that. And a lot of people will go there with their kids and just hang out. Somebody asked, what guidelines do you use to determine what you do on a day-to-day basis? So we have a team here working. I think it's like 9 units, but in total, including people's children, there's like 26 of us here. So a lot of the work that we do is team things. Like just recently we had a 2-week-long team VBS that we put on together. But my missionaries give us a lot of freedom to kind of do our own ministry, get involved in certain areas that we feel more drawn to. Really, for the most part, I kind of have like a weekly schedule. Like there's certain days that I know I'm going to be going to church, because they have church here, y'all, like 4 days a week. And then there's also days that I know I'm going to be teaching English, and we have like things like team meetings or team prayer time. Also set up time to hang out with Peruvians at my house or at an ice cream shop or at their house. So for the most part, I kind of have a similar schedule every week, and then obviously like different things just get added in there throughout the week. But I would say that for the most part, I do stay pretty busy doing things. After I mixed all of the sugar with the maracuya, it now looks like this. And I am going to try it now and see how it tastes. It's perfect. This question is, what ministry do you feel called to specifically? I've always felt a specific draw to like the younger generation and working with kids or with youth, or like specifically young girls. This past year, I've really felt more called to working with women, not just like teens, but also just women in general. And like I said, with teenagers a lot, like my English class is a class of teenagers. We have our youth Bible study at our church. What I've really been trying to personally work at with my ministry and get better at is like one-on-one discipleship, because I feel like that's something that's really needed here. But I also really love when we get to go upriver and work in communities deeper in the jungle. Working with the unreached people groups and the different like tribes is something that I definitely have a passion for, and I really love when we get to do that, but that's not quite as often. I think the last question that I'll answer is, what do you like to do the most in Peru? There's, like I said, not a lot of things to do here, but I love getting to go to the river and swim, or if we ever have a day off and get to go to the pool with some friends. It's really fun. But I would say my #1 favorite thing to do here is to drive my little moped around town. I have so much fun with it, and every time I'm on there, I don't know why, it just gives me this like sense of empowerment, and I feel like James Bond or something going around town. So I would say my favorite thing to do is to drive my moto. But yeah, that's all I have for this video. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video, learned more about Peru, and learned more about me and how to make maracuya that you probably can't make because they don't have it in the States. But if you're ever in the jungle, now you know. If you have any more questions that you didn't get a chance to ask, you can put them in the comments and I will answer them for you guys down there. But thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like the video and subscribe. I'm trying to get better at saying that because I never do it, because I'm like, I don't want anyone to know that I have a YouTube channel, but I shouldn't care. I have a YouTube channel. I'm proud of it. I don't know why I'm yelling. That's all I have for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.